channel, Anything Medicine. So today we're going to start with lipoprotein series. We will start first of all by defining what is lipoprotein. Then we come behind that to the metabolic pathway of chylomicron. So what is lipoprotein? Lipoprotein is a complex particles formed of lipids and proteins. But the unique here is that the polar structures and polar sides of the particles are directed toward the cortex of that particle, while the non-polar parts are concentrated inside, like triacylglyceride and cholesterol ester. What are polar particles or polar chains that are directed toward the cortex, like OH? OH is a polar chain that it's a proton donor that dissolves in the water. And also apoprotein, it's a polar particle that can dissolve in the water. So it's on the periphery, on the cortex, so can dissolve in the water. So it's a polar. So this molecule carrying a protein, carrying fats toward some organs, to some targets. So, starting by chylomicron. What is the source of chylomicron first of all? The source of chylomicron is the intestine. From here it originated. Chylomicron. And what is the function of chylomicron? The function of chylomicron that it's carrying triacylglyceride toward extrahepatic tissues. And what is the remaining cholesterol and cholesterol ester with additional more cholesterol from HDL particle and others that we will see from where to the liver. So chylomicron being formed in the intestine after fat digestion. The fat digestion that we eat from the food. Then these fat particles pushed up into the intestinal cells. And inside intestinal cells there will be re-esterification. Yes, re-esterification. After digestion of the fat in the intestine, the digested particle that entered the intestinal cells will be re-esterified. So we just like hydrolyzed the fat to facilitate the absorption. Then inside the intestinal cells will be turning back into original form. So then after re-esterification, inside the endoplasmic reticulum there will be formation of the apoproteins that will be taken part in the structure, and will be formation of chylomicron. But before that, let's agree on something. Whenever there is in lipoprotein more fats, this lipoprotein will be lower in density. And whenever there is more fat at the same time, this lipoprotein will be higher in size, bigger in size. So let me tell you first of all that chylomicron is the highest content of fat, so it's the biggest in size, and it's the lowest in density. Then we come behind. After pushing of the chylomicron toward lymphatic system, and do you know where's the lymphatic end drainage? The lymph end into venous angle, where the internal jugular vein fused with the subclavian vein, where there will be formation of brachiocephalic vein. This is called a venous angle. So there is the place where the lymph drainage ends. So from there, the lymph will drain into blood, and chylomicron will be transported into the blood. Then in the blood, this chylomicron will meet up with some particles. One of these particles is a HDL. HDL is a good particle. We will know in future why. But for now, just enough to know that it will help chylomicron to be mature chylomicron. Because this chylomicron is nascent chylomicron. This is one of the reasons that why it's a good particle. So it will throw up, it will drop off protein C and E. Actually protein C2. Apoprotein C and apoprotein E. After that, this chylomicron will be mature chylomicron, functional chylomicron. Only after that. So protein C2 and protein E. Apo. Then this chylomicron will be moved into capillary beds of extrahepatic tissues, where they will meet with enzyme which is lined on the capillary wall. Look at this enzyme. We call it LBL enzyme, lipoprotein lipase. But don't think that this enzyme is a simple enzyme. Let me tell you some wonderful facts about this enzyme. This enzyme is the only enzyme from lipases enzyme that gets stimulated by insulin. So first of all, this enzyme, the only enzyme from the lipases enzyme that gets stimulated by insulin. There's a lot of lipase enzyme like lingual lipase, stomach lipase, gastric lipase, pancreatic lipase, and hormone sensitive lipase, and monoacyl glycerol lipase. All of these are not stimulated by insulin, except this, which is out of the rule. So remember it. And it's important to remember that for pathophysiology of diabetes mellitus, where there's no insulin, especially type 1. So it's important to know, because it will help you to know the pathophysiology of diabetes mellitus, why the profile of fats change there. So secondly, this enzyme is suspended by heparan sulfate. This enzyme is suspended on the capillary wall by heparan sulfate. You know, in the past they were using heparin to treat hypertriacylglyceridemia, because actually really heparin and does that it released up this enzyme from the capillary and will be activate this enzyme. So this enzyme will catalyze and hydrolyze more triacylglyceride, so lowering the triacylglyceride. So in the past they were using this, but because of side effect, now there's newer drugs. But it's good to know. So this enzyme suspended by heparan sulfate, which is a type of glycosaminoglycan. You know, there's a lot of type of glycosaminoglycan like heparan sulfate, dermatan sulfate, keratan sulfate, and here is heparan sulfate. So another point here I want to highlight, that this enzyme is regulated by apoprotein C2 and also activated by apoprotein A, but mainly apoprotein C2. If you've been asked in USMLA, they mainly will target this enzyme for regulation of lipoprotein lipase. So this enzyme regulated by apoprotein C2 plus A, but mainly this enzyme, this apoprotein. Then we come behind, before. We should see what will happen with the triacylglyceride that hydrolyzed. There will be hydrolysis of 90% of the triacylglycerol. You know, this is glycerol, this is a fatty acid, this is a fatty acid, this is a fatty chain. And there will be hydrolysis of these fatty acid and released up into the blood, and this glycerol also will be free. So we'll have fatty acid chains and glycerol finally. These fatty acids will be taken up by the tissues. Which tissues? Cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, adipose tissue. Especially cardiac muscle, which is mainly dependent nutrition, like the main nutrition for cardiac muscle is fatty acid. It's 70% of the nutrition of the cell. And the glycerol. What is the fate of glycerol? The fate of glycerol is only limited for 2 organs, which are kidney and liver. You know why? Because these 2 organs, the only 2 organs in our body that contain glycerol phosphate. Or glycerol kinase. Even adipocytes, which store triacylglycerol, do not have this enzyme. So this is a unique enzyme. We may come in future for another video about the specific tissue that contains specific enzymes and specific tissues that lack some enzymes. So if you ask how triacylglycerol being formed here, this adipocyte can take up fatty tissue from the blood. And from where the glycerol that it associated them with fatty acid and formation of triacylglycerol. This glycerol, if you know and remember from glycolysis, it's a one of intermediate glycerol 3 phosphate. It's a one of intermediate of glycolysis. So will be uptaken from here as an intermediate of glycolysis. But these are the only tissues that have glycerol kinase and will be uptake glycerol and formatted into glucose by a process called glyconeogenesis. Then we come behind after hydrolysis of triacylglycerol. Then do we need apoprotein C2 and apoprotein A? No. So it's like Chylomicron now will say, okay, thank you HDL, you helped me, and I will come back to you, apoprotein C2. And please keep for me apoprotein E because I still need it and did not use it. Take instead apoprotein A. And while that, I told you triacylglycerol should be like get rid of chylomicron. So also chylomicron will say help me by like another thing. Take from me triacylglycerol and HDL will say okay, I will take and I will give you instead something which is cholesterol and cholesterol ester, because HDL is a molecule that full of cholesterol ester and cholesterol, especially cholesterol ester, because it stores cholesterol as a form of cholesterol ester, and it's a highly protein compound. That's why it's the high density. So you should remember the dynamicity, and you should remember that rule that we draw here to help you understanding the dynamicity, why we call this very low density, why we call this high density. So this transport switching of triacylglycerol with cholesterol mediated by CETB, cholesterol ester transport protein, and this facilitated and promoted by apoprotein D. It's been as in USMLA. Apoprotein D, it's like different from the other apoprotein molecules and produced by the liver. It's helping promote this transport between HDL and chylomicron and other. So it's help this enzyme, CETB. So here, remaining chylomicron called remnant chylomicron. Yes? Remnant chylomicron. Remnant chylomicron, after releasing up or turning back these apoproteins and that transport switching of triacylglyceride with cholesterol. So, the remnant, what you can tell me about remnant chylomicron? We lose fat here, yes? We lose triacylglyceride around 90%. So, this triacylglyceride remnant chylomicron, this remnant chylomicron will be less in size and will be slightly higher in density. So, if you see a chylomicron which is less in size than other chylomicron, you will conclude that it's remnant chylomicron. It's important because in some pathologies, remnant chylomicron are accumulated, and in other while in other pathologies, nascent or mature chylomicron accumulated. So we'll come for that in the pathology of lipoproteins, in the where there's dyslipidemia due to mutation, maybe due to something else. Then this remnant chylomicron will be with apoprotein E and apoprotein 48, B48, and with a minimum amount of TAG, triacylglyceride, and with higher cholesterol, ester, and cholesterol. Do you know why it kept apoprotein E? It's a gate actually for the liver, and it's been asked also in USMLE. It's a gate. It's called ApoE receptor or LDL receptor. Same name, because this receptor acts on both LDL and apoprotein E. And actually also act on apoprotein B. So they call it also apoprotein B receptor. After reaction of both receptors, there will be endocytosis. So chylomicron enter the liver, enter the hepatocyte by endocytosis, not facilitated, not active diffusion, not active transport or another, because also it's been asked on USMLE. So when it enters the hepatocyte, let's imagine that this is a hepatocyte, and this is a part of membrane cell. There will be directly turning back of apoprotein E and apoprotein B. After that, before fusion of this turning back of apoproteins, before fusion of this vesicle with lysosome, and after that there will be fusion with the lysosome. So what contains lysosome? It contains esterase, it contains lipase. So there will be digestion of the fats and releasing. So there will be digestion of the fat, and mainly we say that it contains cholesterol. So what's the fate of cholesterol here? The fate of cholesterol in the liver. What can the liver do by cholesterol? The liver can use up the cholesterol that it needs, and remaining cholesterol can release in the tissue. Can release it in the tissue. So remaining cholesterol goes to the bile. Sorry, not the tissue. To the bile. And here I want to highlight one. Why the women have tendency more to form like gallstones more than the women, more than the men. Why women have tendency more to form gallstone more than men? Because actually estrogen here acts on this point and increase the releasing of the cholesterol into the bile. So that's why women tend to form gallstone more than men. But at the same time, women tend to form atherosclerosis more than men, tend to form less atherosclerosis than men. So men are in more risk to form atherosclerosis. Why? Because estrogen, we say already, release more cholesterol with the bile, and another function that it increases the HDL in the blood profile and decrease the LDL, which is a bad molecule, which is we will talk about it in next video, that it's the most responsible or the most promoter of atherosclerosis. Most promoter of atherosclerosis. So this is a good molecule. It promotes lipoproteins, and also it uptake the bad molecules. It antagonizes like LDL. So by helping of this, like increasing HDL, we receive in women listed as it form atherosclerosis. So thank you.